Our question this week is, why do we have so many priests from other countries? This is, once again, a very good question. The answer is both very simple and also very complex. Let me deal with the simple answer first. The reason we have so many priests from other countries is that we have so few priests from our own diocese. We are almost totally dependent on other countries to supply us with priests in this archdiocese. Now, it would take some research to come up with the full statistics on this, but I can tell you what the situation is right now. For the sake of this conversation, I am going to refer only to active priests in our archdiocese. We have some retired priests who are no longer engaged in full-time ministry, a few of whom now live outside of our diocese or outside of Canada. We have 27 priests engaged in full-time ministry. I'm not including myself. Pastors of parishes make up 24 of these. We also have a vicar general, a director of evangelization and catechesis, and a redemptorist at large, as Father Ed Eyre calls himself. That makes 27 in all. 2 of these 27 were born and raised in the Archdiocese of Grouard-McLennan, Monsignor Charles Lavoie and Father Ed Eyre. As a redemptorist, Father Ed can be reassigned out of our diocese by his superiors at any time. So our only Canadian-born incarnated priest is Monsignor Charles. This term incarnated priest means that he belongs to this diocese whether he was born here or not. This is his permanent home. Any priest who belongs to a religious congregation or who belongs to a diocese other than ours can be transferred out of our diocese by his own bishop or his religious superior. For many generations, the majority of priests in our diocese were oblates of Mary Immaculate. The Redemptorists have also been here since the 1930s, and over the years we have had some incarnated diocesan priests. Beginning in about the 1980s, fewer oblate fathers were being assigned to our diocese, so successive bishops have had to look elsewhere to find priests. While some parts of the world have declining numbers of seminarians preparing for the priesthood, in other countries there are still great numbers of seminarians and young priests. In our archdiocese, there are too few men preparing to become priests. Right now we have 1 young man from our archdiocese in the seminary. 4 other young men from overseas are either already here or hoping to get visas with a view to eventually being ordained for our diocese. Every year on the Tuesday in Holy Week, we celebrate the Chrism Mass at the Cathedral in McLennan. Almost all of our priests are present for this Mass. To witness us all together gives proof of the international origins of our priests. 4 are Canadians, 14 are from African countries, 8 are from India, and we have 2 Filipinos. As I visit parishes, some parishioners will ask me to teach their priest English. I reply by pointing out that their priest knows English very well, in addition to his native tongue. In most of their countries, English is the common language, so he likely did most or all of his studies in English. It's just that they may have an accent. To return to the question I was asked, the reason we have so many priests from outside of our diocese is because we have so few from within our diocese. We are not producing priests for our own needs, so your bishop must look elsewhere. The solution, of course, would be to encourage religious vocations more actively among our own people. Pray to the Lord of the harvest, Jesus suggested. Encourage your own children and grandchildren. Has God stopped calling them? I don't think so. But someone has to be listening for God to speak to their heart. I think we're asking the wrong question when we ask young people what they want to be when they grow up. We should be asking, what does God want you to be when you grow up? To answer that question, our youth would have to ask God, what do you want me to do with my life, Lord? That's not an ask the Archbishop kind of question. That's an ask Jesus kind of question. We'll see you next week.